Victoria Falls is the largest waterfall on the planet, forming the border between Zimbabwe and Zambia. There are many who farm the vast land it feeds with its waters, and one man who farmed these lands stands out just like the Victoria Falls. This man saw the need for his community. He wanted a Agusi community to have a better life. His project was to rebuild the Agusi Hospital with his own means, and this was his last project. This man is J.B. Dondolo, late father of 10 children. Here's the story of how one man sought to change his world for the better, and how as a community we are going to finish what he started.
I am his daughter. I look back now and I appreciate where I came from. I appreciate the journey. We want to finish building the hospital. And I just know in my heart, I know that when we work together, we can accomplish so much. We can accomplish a lot more than we can imagine. I look forward to building it.
United we stand, divided we fall. You can help.
Have you achieved all you thought you would in your life by now?
A scripture that says, the person that puts their hands to the plow and turns back is not fit for the kingdom.
The repetitious acts of that will ultimately lead you to be a quitter or a loser. And when you're losing, no one wins.
And I believe that that leaves kind of a hole inside of ourselves.
In order for us to be effective in life, we have to learn how to complete the task.
If we don't finish what we start, then we'll regret the fact that it could have been something great if we would have kept going and pushing through.
There's going to be detours along the way. And oftentimes those detours become what stops people from fulfilling their journey.
If it's a project that is close to your heart, if it's a project that has to do with what you are passionate about, then there is no reason to stop.
It's not always easy, but the alternative is worse, because I can't imagine not waking up and being excited about the possibilities every day.
So I would say if you start something, see it through no matter what and finish it till the end.
If we're going to be impactful in the world in which we live, we have to have the mindset that if we start something, we have to start out strong and finish strong.
You just got to keep your hope, got to keep, your belief strong, and just keep working at it.
I believe that one of our purposes in life is to help others succeed.
We need to have an opportunity to participate in something that's larger than ourselves.
God places us here with the abilities and talents to make a difference in other people's lives.
As humans, we have empathy, and it's a big difference between human and animals.
Just make certain that we're in a position to recognize that there are others that need our assistance and our support in all that we do.
I believe in the law of reciprocity.
We can do that by providing health care, food, shelter.
Helping people is a universal language.
In your power, help people instead of destroying people. And the people that are destroying, we need to help each other all.
In some countries in the world, $50, $100 can pay tuition.
I urge you right now to declare yourself. Say it to yourself, whatever your dream is, and then go tell somebody else. Write it down. In doing those 2 steps, you will already start the process.
I promise we'll be alright by the morning light.
This is the story of J.B. Dondolo and Agusi Hospital. Dondolo talked a lot about Agusi Hospital and his desire to help build it to completion. Even during his last days on Earth, the hospital was still the top priority. Perhaps it is fair and honorable to say his vision to help the impoverished was bigger than we could ever imagine. Had it not been the illness, he would have completed the Agusi Hospital project at some point in time. His children carry with them their father's discipline. They try to live by example and do what's right. For one, Lumbi Mlambo is passionate about helping people find balance in their lives.
Bimi Key Role Player, Honoree of the Year, is Lumbi Mlambo. She's the owner of Equanimity Magazine, and today we would like to recognize her as one of our Key Role Players of the Year. Her vision is to make a difference in people's lives by providing empowerment, encouragement, motivation, and inspiration to the whole world, so that everyone achieves a certain level of balance and unity in order to become productive in their communities. Today, Bimi's honoring you, Lumbi Mlambo, and your efforts for creating a national lifestyle magazine about real people and their search to live better lives. This publication is transforming the lives of both the readers and those who are published.
What makes a man go out of his way to do so much good for others? To this day, J.B. Dondolo is so appreciated and celebrated by many, his children, family, and friends. In 2002, he died of diabetes at the age of 89, but his vision lives forever.
My father was a very humble man. He worked very, very hard to make sure that we, all 10 of us, his children, had a better life. I am so proud of the work he did in the community. I am so proud of the person he was. He was a man of principles.
J.B. Dondolo was an orphan at 8 years old when he lost his parents due to a horrific tragedy. Born in 1913 and the oldest of 4 children, he became the caregiver and head of household, caring for his siblings while they struggled to make a living in Johannesburg, South Africa. They survived on basic necessities. He never went to school. As he grew up, he decided to move on in search of happiness and a better life, and maybe to put his painful past to rest and start a new life. He bought a bike and rode it from Johannesburg and crossed the border. He was sort of nomadic, if you will. He stopped at places he found interesting, even when he didn't speak the language. Since he didn't know where he would end up, he was determined to learn whatever language he encountered, and he did. By the time he reached Zimbabwe, then Rhodesia, he had become multilingual. He could speak many languages, including English. He settled in Zimbabwe, married, and had 10 children. Dondolo was big on farming. He was big on poverty prevention. The land he settled on was fertile and good for growing crops and raising cattle, pigs, sheep, and chickens. He took advantage of this farm produce opportunity so he could support his family and help the community. The farm earnings paid for his children's education, clothing, and anything else you could think of. He was a very hard-working man.
J.B. Dondolo, he was a humble man. He worked hard all his life, started from humble beginnings, but he did all that, I think, special for us. Right now, we're in this position because of him. If it wasn't for J.B. Dondolo, we won't be here today.
To me, personally, he was a tough guy, in the sense that his toughness was for us to grow up to become men.
And his wife Lydia, still living, was also into farming. She was a well-respected school teacher and taught Dondolo the basic writing skills.
Hayi akulalutho sibili uJP wayengubaba wethu sonke esithanda sonke abantwana efuna ukuphela sibe phasi kwakhe simtshele izinganekwane ezethu esazazi esivela nazo esikolo la sitshele zakiwe zokuzala kwakhe ezala labo antomdala onaka mahoma labo naka Alexander labo naka magogo masase siswakho omncane.
Even though Dondolo never went to school, he understood the importance of education. He wanted all his children to have several college degrees. Perhaps he thought that would make them smarter, or perhaps plain and simple, he never understood what college degrees were.
And most importantly, he realized the value of education, because he accorded all his children, the level of education wherein each and every one of them, whoever wanted to advance himself or herself.
All 10 children would tell you that their father was the strictest father ever. For one thing, none of them could sleep beyond 5 a.m. Their father's words, "I am an orphan. When I die, you will suffer," were perhaps good enough to get them off their beds every morning.
I always think of that expression, "I am an orphan. When I die, you will suffer." Because he was preparing me mentally to be a tough person. Even though he was an orphan, that didn't put him down. That was not a determining factor in helping people, doing great things around. That was just for me to know that growing up, there's going to be so many obstacles in life. And it's up to me to be tough, to be strong, and always remember where I came from.
They all had chores and worked in the fields tirelessly. The entire community had the right to discipline Dondolo's children because, according to Dondolo, his children were their children, just as well as the community children were his. His children marvel and brag over the priceless teachings of their father, to appreciate the smallest things in life, to give wholeheartedly, to love, to never judge anyone, to respect, and to always pray.
My grandfather would look out for those who were hungry, those who didn't have food, especially in times of famine and drought, and he would give food to these people. He would go out to farms, perhaps 2-3 miles away from where he lived, from his farm, and just get a sense for people's needs and take food out to them so that they wouldn't starve to death. He also helped those who worked for him by ensuring that they had enough food. Even as farm workers, they did not earn large salaries, so he took care of them by ensuring that their families always had something to eat.
After all, this all describes the man they all so loved, their father. It is that time again to celebrate their father. You could call it a memorial. Lumbi must travel to Africa. All the siblings must travel to Africa. Lumbi has one more reason to go to Africa, to start the groundwork of his father's last project. They come from different countries, the UK, USA, Virgin Islands, Zambia, Botswana, and Canada. They all gather in Johannesburg, then they start the journey to Guatemala, where their father is buried. This usually means an 8 to 13-hour journey, of course with a few stops here and there. They arrive in Guatemala, and they join the crew to help prepare the celebration. People wait for J.B. Dondolo's memorial here. They camp around for days, dance all night, eat all night. Only a few go to bed, the rest are night owls. Perhaps the joy of watching traditional dancers keep them awake. People come from everywhere. Tents are raised, tables are set, and speeches are the norm. On this day, the children of Dondolo take advantage of this event to show off about their father. It ends up being a competition of what each learned from their father that perhaps others did not.
Being the youngest, I must say that he shared more information maybe with me.
Aselusa izimvu.
There's laughter, joy, singing, and testimonials from a few others. Most importantly, it's about giving thanks to J.B. Dondolo, the man they admire, the man who instilled great values, respect for others, hard work, love, and giving. Thank you speeches are sometimes not enough for a man so well respected. Perhaps the praises, as they call it, just about honors the man they so love. The praises are honorable words that describe a person's identity, origins, lineage, strengths, beliefs, and hard work. Dondolo's children know that the praises meant a lot to their father. None of them would take the chance to say the praises. They admit they don't know the praises entirely. However, they entrust Mbongi, a specialist who can craft the words correctly and say the praises with knowledge, vigor, power, and respect. People usually hang around another day or two after the celebration. That's what the bonfires are for, to continue telling stories, roasting meat, and dancing. It is not uncommon to find people who bought a one-way ticket to get to the event but don't have money to return to their homes. All that matters to them is that they got here. They got to witness yet another amazing celebration to honor the man they so admired in the community, an orphan who cared enough for others more than he cared for himself. It is no surprise J.B. Dondolo started the Egusi Hospital Project. Egusi people need health care.
The other pressing issue, we've got a problem with the water.
Water?
If we can do something with our water supply.
The treatment of water from the supply, so that we reduce the lime going into the line. You see, we need to suppress the lime right from the source.
Well, the most pressing issue in waiting mother's shelter, that's the one that we really need at the moment. Like postnatal, if it can be extended, maybe that's when we can say we need more beds.
And also the cottages, 3 cottages need to be kind of
maybe repainted, refurbished.
Even though Egusi is roughly about 195 miles from the Victoria Falls, the area, like many places in Montebelloland, faces a lot of challenges when it comes to water. People travel long distances to get to water supply and basic health needs. Imagine how long it would have taken one man to complete this project. Perhaps the length of time is out of the question. He would have completed it. We start something with the intention of finishing it. Sometimes we're not always lucky to do so.
People have many ideas and do many things, and it's only the ones that are finished that receive recognition.
For sure, healthcare, the needs for healthcare are much more important in the rural areas. So without a doubt, that's where we need to start. Those are the communities we need to really look after. They need our help the most. And for sure, they don't have the facilities that they should in a lot of the places back home. So we need to try and do our best to build them up, mainly in the rural areas, and slowly develop, just grow the idea, and hopefully there'll be a few more hospitals in all the rural areas.
But we're lucky or blessed to have others finish it for us. J.B. Dondolo helped anyone who needed help, the well-to-do and the not-so-well-to-do alike.
I think this is just only the beginning to show the world that all of us here, we have a potential to work together to accomplish something so big, something so powerful, something that we'll look back in the future and be so proud, and we're going to say, guess what? We did it together.
We are our brother's keepers, and we are supposed to give back. And that's one of the things that I think that's so powerful about the Dondolo project is honoring a man that showed, or is the epitome of giving, of himself, his time, his substance. Why not finish a project that's going to better the lives of other people? Not only do you feel a sense of accomplishment, but it gives you credibility. And it's empowering to others.
I mean, it would be great if we can finish what JB and Bolo started. It was such a great initiative. It's really sad that he passed away when he did, because I'm sure he would have loved to see it through. But you know, with Lumbi and with all the help of our fellow Zimbabweans, if we all keep pushing, I'm sure we can do it. And I think it'll be something all of us will be really proud of once it's completed. So, you know, I urge the corporate world to help get behind Lumbi's project, and you know, together we can do this.
He may not have lived to see the completion of his project, but his legacy lives on. One thing that is certain is that his promise to the people of Igusi will be kept. Dondolo's children have created a charity organization to help fund this project. Like their father, saving lives is important. Helping the needy is critical. After all, we're all humans. Everyone deserves a chance. United we stand, divided we fall. You can help.
Start to finish. Love for others. The power of giving.
Yes.
Help us rebuild Igusi Hospital. Help us change lives. Be part of the mission that JB Dondolo has started. Take action by visiting jbdondolo.org. You can help.